everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to add successful Razorpay payment details in Notion automatically. So I'm an owner of a skincare brand, and using Razorpay, I collect the payments from my customers as soon as they're going to do purchase in my business, they're going to purchase any of my products. Here what I want is that as soon as I'm going to receive a successful payment by the customer as they're going to do the purchase with the help of Razorpay, I want to create a record of that payment in my Notion database as an item so that I can manage all the payment details and my customers' data. Now creating this record manually after the new payment is done is very time consuming. So what I did was I simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Razorpay and Notion with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add successful Razorpay payment details in Notion automatically. So I'm an owner of a skincare brand, and with the help of Razorpay, I collect the payments of my customer while they do the purchase of the products that I'm selling for my business. Here what I want is the payment page of one of the products that I'm selling for my business. You can see right over here. Here what I want is that as soon as the purchase and the payment of this product is going to be done. So this is the form right over here. I've filled it. The first name of the customer is Smart, last name is User, email is smartuser@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, the mobile number, address, you can see right over here with all the details. So this is the customer who's purchasing my product. I want that as soon as the payment of that purchase is going to be done, I'm going to do the payment right here. I've selected the card details. I'm going to click on this continue button. You can see that as soon as the payment is going to be successful with the help of Razorpay, automatically what should happen is the payment details should be recorded or created as an item in my Notion database. You can see right over here. We have the customer name, email, phone number, the payment ID with the address, city, state, PIN code, the payment amount, and the payment status. Okay, so in this similar manner, I want to create a record of each and every payment details in my Notion database as an item. Now creating these items manually after the new payment is done by the customer with the help of Razorpay is very time consuming and can lead to errors. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process. I have created a connection between Razorpay and Notion with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Add Successful Razorpay Payment Details in Notion Automatically. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Okay. After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Razorpay Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Add Successful Razorpay Payment Details in Notion Automatically, and there are two windows in front of you. One says trigger, other says action. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means our action, what is it? It's a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step and multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Razorpay. Razorpay is a simple and secure online payment gateway that helps businesses to collect payments easily. It supports multiple payment methods like UPI, card, net banking, and wallet, ensuring convenient for customers. And I use Razorpay to collect the payments from my customers as they're going to do the purchase of the products that I'm selling for my skincare brand. Okay. So over here, that is why for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as Razorpay. And here what I want is that as soon as a payment by the customer is going to be done successfully with the help of Razorpay, I want to capture the response of that over here in this workflow that I'm creating in Pabbly Connect. So that is why my trigger event, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as payment captured, okay? As whenever the payment is going to be done and the status of the payment is going to be successful, with the help of this trigger event, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that, okay? After selecting the trigger application and the event, we need to create a connection between Razorpay and Pabbly Connect. For that, over here, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to create a connection between Razorpay and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk, okay? So what I'm going to do is, firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. Now we're going to follow these steps one by one. Log into your Razorpay account that you want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is my account right over here, and you can see this account that I'm running with the help of Razorpay is on the test mode right here, okay? So this is the test account that I'm running. In the similar manner that I'm going to connect my test account to Pabbly Connect, you have to connect your live account as well, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a connection between this account and Pabbly Connect. For that, from the left side of the panel, what we're going to do is we are going to go to the accounts and settings page right here. As we're going to land towards this page over here under website and app settings, you can see it says webhooks. Click on this option. As you're going to do that, right over here, webhooks page is then going to appear, and over here it says add new webhook. Click on this button, okay? It's asking for the webhook URL first. For this field, paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us, okay? After that, it is asking for the secret. You can enter the secret according to your requirement. Next, it is asking for the active events. For the active events over here in the help desk, it says for active events selected as payment captured, okay? As we want the response of the payment captured in our trigger, so that is why over here for the event is payment captured, I'm going to select this event right over here. You can select the event according to your requirements when you're going to create the workflow. After entering the webhook URL and selecting the event right over here, I'm going to click on this create webhook button in order to create a new webhook in this Razorpay account. You can see it says webhook saved successfully. That means the webhook URL you can see right over here has been added successfully in my Razorpay account. As the URL is successfully added in my Razorpay account, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. You can see right over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Razorpay is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what we're going to do is we are going to do the test purchase with the help of Razorpay. We're going to do the test successful payment using Razorpay, and after doing the payment, we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test payment being done or not, okay? So over here, this is the smart pages page of my Razorpay account, and I have created a smart page of the product that I'm selling for my business, that is Natural Glow Skincare Face Toner, okay? So this is the smart page with the help of which I'm collecting the payment of this product right over here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the test payment with the help of the smart page. For that, I'm going to copy this page link from here and open it in a new tab right over here. So you can see over here, this is the payment page for the product Natural Glow Skincare Face Toner, and you can see only test payments can be made with this payment page is written right over here. As I've already told you, my Razorpay account is in a test mode. That is why the payment that I'm doing right now is also a test payment, okay? So now what I'm going to do is with the help of the smart page, I'm going to do the test purchase of this product right here, okay? It is asking for the amount first. The amount is automatically being entered for this face toner. Next, it is asking for the first name. So the first name over here, I'm going to write it as demo. For the last name over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it as user1. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as demoUser1@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. Over here, next it is asking for the street address. For the street address over here, I'm going to write it as New City, 12 New City. For the city over here, I'm going to write it as Bhopal. For the state over here, I'm going to write it as Madhya Pradesh. For the pin code over here, I'm going to write in a dummy pin code, okay? After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this pay button to do the payment. As I've done that, it is asking for the method of payment. For the method of payment, I'm going to select it as card. It is asking for the card details. I'm going to enter the dummy card details right here. So I've entered the dummy card details, the card number and all the details. Okay, then I'm going to click on this continue button. I'm going to click on this button right here. It is saying welcome to Razorpay software. I want the payment status to be successful. So I'm going to select the success option right here. Okay. As I've done that, it says payment successful. That means the payment, the purchase of this product has been successfully done. Okay, the payment is done with the help of Razorpay successfully. As now the payment has been successfully done with the help of Razorpay for this product right over here, I'm going to open my workflow and check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the successful payment being done or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the successful payment right here. Over here, we received the status of the payment as captured. The order ID is right here. For the address of the customer comes as 1 to New City, state as Madhya Pradesh, pin code, the dummy pin code. For the phone number, the dummy mobile number. First name as demo, last name as user1, email as demouser1@pabblytudes.com. City as Bhopal, method of the payment being card. You can see right over here, we received the payment ID. For the email comes as demouser1@pabblytudes.com. Currency as INR, that is Indian rupees. This is the contact number. You can see right over phone number of our customer. If I'm going to further scroll down, the amount of the payment comes over here as 550. Now over here in the amount, you can see we have 2 extra zeros as well, okay? As the payment that we have done is just for rupees 550, but in the response, it comes as 55000 with 2 extra zeros right here, okay? So we cannot use this amount as it is. We are going to make the changes further while we are going to create the workflow. Firstly, let us tally the response that we have captured right here, okay? And we have the account ID with all the other details you can see right over here, okay? As the response of the payment being done is successfully captured over here, this means that Razorpay has now been connected to Pabbly Connect and a trigger setup is done. Now, whenever a new payment is going to be done by the customer with the help of Razorpay, as they're going to do the purchase of any of the products that I'm selling, automatically in the similar manner, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that, okay? So now I want that specifically for this product, that is Natural Glow Skincare Face Toner, I want to create a record of only the payment done for this specific product right over here in my Notion database as an item. So what I'm going to do is for that specific requirement that I have, we are going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select as filter by Pabbly. As with the help of filter by Pabbly, we can filter out the values in this workflow that we are creating according to our requirement. For the action event, I'm going to select as filter values. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. As we're going to do that, over here it is asking for us to select the label first, then the filter type and the value. For the select label over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the label of the amount, as the amount of each and every product in my business varies from each other. So what I'm going to do is for this, I'm going to select the label over here as amount, okay? The amount over here is 550. So I'm going to select the amount over here as 550 should be equal to the amount that is 550, but with 2 extra zeros as we've received the response in the similar manner. Now, whenever the amount is going to be equal to this value right over here, then only this workflow is going to be executed. I am adding this filter in this workflow right here because I want that as soon as the purchase for this specific product is going to be done using Razorpay, then only this workflow should be executed and the record of the payment should be created in my Notion database as an item only when the purchase of this product is going to be done using Razorpay, okay? That is why I'm adding this filter right here. Then I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, the status comes over here as success and the message is going to come as condition is true, okay? So now the filter has also been successfully applied in this workflow. Now, as we've received the payment right over here and we have entered the filter as well, I want to create a record of this payment in my Notion database as an item. For that, we're going to add another action step in this workflow. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Notion, as I want to create a record of the payment being done in my Notion database as an item now. Notion is an all-in-one productivity and organizational tool that helps businesses and individuals to manage their tasks, project, and data in one place. It combines the feature of note-taking, task management, databases, and collaboration tools, making it versatile and highly customizable. And I'm using Notion to manage the data of all my customers as well as the payment details, okay? So that is why over here, I want to create a database item of every payment that has been done by my customer in my Notion database, okay? So now what I'm going to do is we're going to set up our action step. For the action event, I'm going to select as create database item. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on connect with Notion. As I'm going to do that, this window is then going to appear in front of you over here, which is asking for us to select a page. So I've created a page over here in the name of Razorpay payment details. I'm going to select that page from here. And after selecting the page right over here, you can see the page is selected. I'm going to click on this allow access button. As this is saved person, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow access button right here. As I've done that, you can see we successfully authorized Notion to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for us to select the database. So for the database over here, I'm going to select the database that I've created in the name of Razorpay payment details. So I'm going to select this database right over here. Okay. After that, it is asking for us to select the street address, PIN code, city, payment amount, payment status, phone, customer's email, payment ID, state, and customer's name. These are the headings that I've created. You can see right over here in my Notion database. You can see right over here that is payment ID, customer's name, customer's email, phone number, street address, city, state, PIN code, payment amount, and the payment status. These are the same headers you can see right over here. And for the data of these headers, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, these were the previous step of this workflow. And as I'm going to click on this Razorpay step, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. It is asking for the street address. Over here in the search panel, I'm going to search for the street address. You can see this is the street address of the customer who have done the payment using Razorpay has been received in this response. So as I want to create the item in my database of the customer who have done the payment using Razorpay, so for that, I'm going to select the response. For that, I'm going to select the data from my previous response. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Similarly, for the PIN code, I'm going to search for the PIN code right over here. I'm going to map the data of the PIN code, okay? For the city over here, I'm going to map the data of the city data that I've received. This is the city, I'm going to map the data. For the payment amount, I'm going to map the data of the amount that I've received in my previous response. As you can see, the payment amount that I've received is with the 2 extra zeros. I don't want these 2 extra zeros right over here in this amount. So to remove these 2 extra zeros from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another action step in this workflow. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as number formatter by Pabbly. With the help of this amazing feature by Pabbly Connect, we can format the numbers according to our requirement. For the action event, select it as perform math operation. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. For the numbers field, select the numbers that you want to do the math operation with. As over here for the amount, I'm going to search for the amount right over here. We have received the amount with 2 extra zeros. So in the response, you're going to every time receive the amount with 2 extra zeros right here. So to remove these 2 extra zeros from here, we can divide this amount with 100 so that the 2 extra zeros can be removed. So what we're going to do is we are going to divide this amount with 100. For that, firstly, I'm going to select this amount right over here. In the help desk, it says if you want to enter the numbers, you have to enter the comma and separate the values to perform the math operation. Just example, if you want to add 100 by 200, you have to enter the value as 100, 200. So I want to divide these two numbers right over here. So after the amount, I'm going to enter a comma and I want to ask divided by 100. So I'm going to enter 100 right over here manually. Okay. So every time the amount is going to be divided by 100 right over here. That is why I've entered the data manually right here. Okay. After entering the numbers for the operation as I want it as division, so I'm going to select as divide and then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, the result comes over here as 550 and this is the amount of the product. Right over here, you can see the amount is 550. You can see right over here. So the result also came over here as 550. Now I'm going to create the record of this amount. For that, I'm going to map the data of the result that I've received for the payment amount field. Okay. For the status over here, I'm going to map the data of the status that I've received. So this is the status. You can see right away. I'm going to map the data of the status. For the phone number, I'm going to map the data of the phone number of my customer. So this is the phone number. I'm going to map the data. For the email over here, I'm going to map the data of the email of my customer. This is the email of my customer. I'm going to map it. For the ID over here, I'm going to map the data of the payment ID that I've received. So this is the payment ID. I'm going to map the data right here. For the state over here, I'm going to map the data of the state. So this is the data of the state. I'm going to map it. And for the customer's name, I'm going to search for the name right here. I'm going to map the data of the first name space the last name. Okay. As I've entered all the required details, then I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see right over here, we have received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Notion database and I'm going to check whether a new item has been created in that database of the payment details or not. For that, I'm going to open my Notion database. And yes, you can see the record of the payment is successfully created in my Notion database as an item. For the ID, we've received the ID customer's name as demo user, email as demoUser1@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number address as 12 New City. If I'm going to further scroll down, city comes over here as Bhopal, state as Madhya Pradesh. For the pin code, the dummy pin code, the amount is 550. You can see right over here, the payment status comes over here as captured. Okay. As the database item is successfully created in my Notion account, this means that we have successfully created an automation between Razorpay and Notion with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum till now what we have done, I am an owner of a skincare brand and using Razorpay, I collect the payments from my customers as they're going to do the purchase of the products. For the trigger, I've selected as Razorpay so that whenever a payment is going to be done automatically in my trigger, the payment is going to be successfully captured. Okay, and then I've added a filter in this workflow as over here in the response of my trigger, every single payment that has been done by my customer for any of the products that I'm managing with the help of Razorpay is going to be captured in the response. But what I want is I want to execute this workflow only for the product that I've created in the name of Natural Glow Skincare Face Toner. That is why I've added the filter so that this workflow is only going to be executed for the purchase of this specific product right here. Okay. After that, over here from action, I've selected as Notion so that whenever the payment is going to be done by the customer using Razorpay, over here the record of that is going to be created in my Notion database as an item right over here. Okay, and for that, I have created this workflow between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.